We don't have much of a detailed program, but I'm just going to spend a few moments talking about the virtues of the aqeeqah, having children and so on. So bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulullah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Has anybody ever heard that question that goes, is the glass half empty or half full? Anybody ever heard that one? Yeah? Okay, I have a confession. Anytime I've ever heard it, I actually never understood it. I never understood what it meant. I would look at a glass and say, it's just a half a glass of water. That's it. There's a half a glass there. Is it? I couldn't tell if it was half empty or half full. Until I heard the Quranic equivalent of that question. Okay, it's in a surah that we are all commonly recite. فَأَمَّا مَنْ تَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ. Okay? It's a question. It's a question. It's posing, actually, it's creating a visual. It says, the day of judgment has arrived, and the scales are weighed heavy. Your scales are heavy. So I want you to visualize that for a moment. It's a question about attitude. When you think of that, the scales being heavy, the ayah finishes, the rest of the surah tells you what you should be visualizing. فَأَمَّا مَنْ ثَقُلَتْ مَوَازِينُهُ فَهُوَ فِي عِيشَةٍ رَاضِيَةٍ. The scales are heavy with good deeds. With good deeds. If you thought of that visual and thought of, oh my gosh, the burden, the sins, the bad deeds that you have accrued, it says something about your psychology. It says, is the glass half empty or half full? The idea is the psychology of the Muslim will see that, yes, we are told that it's a mountain of good deeds. Our psychology says, is supposed to interpret that in terms of, oh my goodness, I have not done nearly enough in my life to earn those good deeds. I haven't done much in my life. And we see that and we think we are not deserving of that. So where do those good deeds come from? Anybody think of what I'm thinking of? Your children. After we pass on from this life, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us in a hadith that there are 3 things that continue to earn you good deeds after you pass away, and one of them is children. So I want you to take away just one thing. Just one thing. Have you thought about and have you invested any time into planning your children's tarbiyah, their upbringing? What activities have you planned for them? What vision have you set out for them? There's a really nice story I heard. There's a father walking by his son's room and he overhears the son making dua. And the son says to Allah, oh Allah, I want to be like my father. The father, upon hearing this, he makes the dua, oh Allah, please make me the type of person my son wants me to be. So there's 2 halves. There's a portion of the plan that involves your child, where you want them to go, what you want them to become. But who do you have to be? Who do you have to be to help your child become that person you want them to become? You can't outsource their tarbiyah. You have to be the source of that. So I want you to think about that, inshallah ta'ala. Plan it, you know. Make some 1 or 2 changes in your own life that you can commit to. Something small but meaningful. Whether it's you're going to read more Qur'an, you're going to commit to something with your spouse, some new activity. So there's the individual, then there's those activities you do with your spouse, then there's activities you do with your family as a whole. So that's my takeaway for you guys. If you want to just dedicate, just consider maybe after your next salah, in that dua, 1 or 2 changes you can commit to inside your life, inshallah.